Hey there everyone! Hey, it's Andrew here with Sony, Central Regional Product Specialist for Sony Custom Installation. And I'm here today with our brand new STR AZ5000ES. This is part of our brand new lineup of ES receivers, and they've got some amazing sound quality, incredible custom installation features. But today we're going to be taking a look at one very specific feature, and that's works with Sonos. Yes, with Sony receivers, we've been integrating with Sonos players back for years now. And now we have the official Works with Sonos designation that gives us even faster and easier integration than before. So let's crack this out of the box, hook it up in the rack, and see how it all sets up. Okay, now that I've finished connecting my AZ5000, my Sonos player, and I've got both devices connected up on the network, now it's time to start setting up the Sonos player and the AZ5000 for Works with Sonos capability. To do this, I'm going to access the home menu right here with the on-screen menus, and I can actually do this from either the remote control or the front panel. I can also go a step further and actually do all of this with the amp menu and operate everything here on the screen of the AZ5000, but it's going to be a little bit easier to do this on screen. So let's take a look at my output from the receiver and go through the setup process. So now that I've pulled up the menu here from the AZ5000, I have a number of options. I can select watch what I want to watch or listen to, my custom presets, my sound effects, my zone controls, and of course our setup of the AVR. In the setup page here, I'm going to have a number of different options. Before I actually set up Works with Sonos though, I need to make sure my inputs are properly configured. So if I go to my input settings here, I can go down and assign and relabel any of my inputs here on the receiver. Now with my Sonos, I actually have it connected to my SAT-CATV input for my analog connection. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to actually change that logo here to say a media box player. And of course, most important here is I'm going to relabel this input here to represent what we are connecting. And so now I've changed my input name to Sonos. I can then select which options I want it to show up on. Of course, this is more of a listening tab here. So this is going to show up on my listen tab. We are going to show this input. We can use optical or coaxial if we prefer to, but in this case, I'm going to be using my analog input, and I'm going to make sure it is always selecting my analog input. If we do want to have a sound field set up here, I prefer mine to be in 2-channel stereo. We can, our in-ceiling mode, if we were going to be using that, we could activate that for this particular input. Any AV sync, subwoofer levels, and subwoofer gains, and also any particular input gain level that we needed to make for the volume adjustment of each individual source. Now that I have programmed and set up my input for the Sonos player, I can go to my network settings to set up for Sonos. If I scroll down right here to option 3.8, this will be my Works with Sonos option. Now this is really super easy to connect. We will just go to our connected devices here and click refresh. It will actually populate with all of the devices on my system. For me, it's really simple because I only have one Sonos player here in the family room system. I will select that, and boom, my connection with Sonos device is completed. There is a few more steps here though. We want to make sure that we select the right input. And so if you remember, I changed that input to say Sonos. And then here's a real key to selecting the volume. You want to set a preset volume level. Now this preset volume level is going to be the maximum level that you want the Sonos to play. So I recommend finding a good comfortable level, that max volume that you would want that source to play, and set your preset volume to that level. And then you would set the output that you want it to go to. If you wanted to go to the main zone, to zone 2, or even to zone 3. Now we also have the option of connecting multiple Sonos devices. So yeah, I could actually go right here if I had multiple Sonos players on the system, connect an additional Sonos player for my other zone. Now only one Sonos player can be connected to each zone. So when I click refresh here, this will come up blank. It's not going to give me any options because I do not have any additional Sonos players. So now that I've set up the Works with Sonos integration, I can go ahead and fire up the Sonos player on my phone and make sure it all works properly. So when I select play here on my Sonos app, the receiver will immediately switch over to the correct Sonos input. It will go to the direct setting, and now using the volume control here on the Sonos app, I can easily control the volume level of my player. So it's as simple as that. I now have control of my volume and easy operation of my receiver. When I go back to another input, so if I go back to my Blu-ray player here, the receiver will immediately go back to the previous volume and everything is up and running as before. So what do we think of that? In just a couple of minutes, we were able to set up the inputs on the receiver, assign the Sonos port player with Works with Sonos designation. We were able to get the player going to the right zone and control the volume of the receiver right there through the Sonos app. We even took a quick look at how it works for Zone 2 and Zone 3. So for more great videos like this, please like and subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for more great videos from Sony Custom Installation.